Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, listening today. This is going to be the December 2021 reading for the zodiac sign of Leo. In this reading, we're going to take a look at what happened recently in the last few weeks, November. We're going to take a look at what's coming for you in December. We're going to do a column specific to career, finance, money. We're going to do another column on love, relationships, family. And then we're going to end with our fifth and final column on a message from your future self or spirit guides. We also will do 3 yes or no questions for you at the end, a crystal card, and a healing note. As always, I do my very best to give you the messages that you need in this one video. But if this video doesn't resonate with you, please do check out your sun, moon, and rising as well. But let's go ahead and get started, and we'll pull a card. So this is an affirmation card as well as a summary card. So what's coming up is I feel peaceful. So that's going to be the summary. Let's pull some clarifying tarot cards underneath here. Okay, right off the bat, Pentacle energy is coming through pretty strong. This is going to be Earth energy. This is also typically very physical type things. But let's see here. We have our Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is very resourceful. And in some cases, this could be fertility. So maybe some of you found out that you were pregnant or having a baby. Your family's expanding. But again, very, very resourceful person, and I believe that that's coming through as you. We also have the Star card. This is renewal. This is hope. For some, this could have been inner clarity, or you could have been in the spotlight for something. We have the Star here, which is shining light on something. Maybe you were recognized for being resourceful, but there could have been something that happened also that like kind of renewed your hope or provided some clarity for you in the month of November. Then we have the King of Pentacles. With the King of Pentacles, this is a very practical type card. It's very wise investment when it comes to money. So I feel like you were like very clear thinking in November in the last 2 weeks, which is always great to have. Let's pull some cards to clarify. Okay, we have the Tower card. So maybe for some of you there was a Tower moment. Sometimes with the Tower there's like unwanted change or some sort of upheaval. For some of you this could have been like surprise news that you were pregnant. It doesn't mean that you didn't want it, but it just could have been something you were anticipating. And what I'm also getting is like you may have had to be more resourceful than you were planning on. Maybe you had to borrow money out of your savings account or borrow money from a friend. So like you had to do some sort of resourceful shift that you hadn't planned on. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Tower moments usually do take you to a better place. But just something that seemed to have caught you off guard that made you more resourceful. Some of you might be saving money too. That's coming in as a strong message there. Then we have the Chariot card. Somebody once explained this to me as the Vroom Vroom card. This just means that like things are moving, things are going places. With the Chariot, this is action, this is change, this is starting a new journey. Some of you might have actually gotten a new car, which is really neat. And with this card, the Chariot, like they are leaving the city behind them. They don't really know where they're going, but it's important to keep in mind that like you don't need to know where you're going with the Chariot, but it's taking you where you need to be. That's on top of the Star card, which is like renewal, hope, inner clarity. So some of you I feel like are feeling like you're finally on the right path, and you may not have felt that before. So really good shift there for you. Then at the bottom here we have the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is very romantic. It's like a love card, a partnership card. For some of you there could have been marriage or proposal in this last month. That's on top of the King of Pentacles, which is also very wise, very practical. There could have been like some sort of new business partnership as well, or some sort of new investment for you. But overall, things looking good. What we're coming off of, definitely a great shift, whatever happened here. And being more resourceful, I feel like, is always a good thing, Leo. Let's take a look at what's coming in December for you. The card is coming up, I will forgive. Forgiveness is a really important thing in life. Make sure you're forgiving those around you. Make sure you're forgiving yourself, not being too hard on yourself. Let's pull some cards though and see what is in your future for December. We have the Four of Cups to start with. The Four of Cups is sometimes a card of feeling unfulfilled. So for some of you, you might be like looking at your cups and not quite feeling happy with what you have. Maybe that's how that's tying into forgiveness. Some of you also, this could be a surprise gift. I do think that some of you will be getting like a bonus at the end of the year, or maybe a large Christmas holiday type gift that you weren't expecting. So this is coming through potentially as like you maybe are not feeling fulfilled with what you have, or you could be getting a gift. We'll clarify to see if that leans one way or the other. I have the Two of Cups. This is the second time this came up. This is again the card of very romantic love and partnership, proposal, marriage. So definitely some sort of strong relationship happening here. Maybe there is a relationship or individual that you need to forgive. But this is a strong love card. So potentially some of you could be getting engaged this month, or there could be marriage coming for you this month. Then we have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is about keeping and maintaining boundaries. It's also about being persistent. So if you see in the back, all the wands are stuck into the ground. There's kind of like this wall protecting you. It's not like there's a wall where people can't get in, but it's having good, clean boundaries, which I think is really important. Maybe the message here is forgive, but make sure it doesn't happen again by having good boundaries. Let's pull some clarifying cards to see what happens, see what other messages we get for you. The first card that we got is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is a card of like being stressed out or being exhausted, having a lot of burdens, which totally makes sense because we were saying that you weren't feeling fulfilled. If you're really overwhelmed, it's hard to feel fulfilled. So if you look at this card, the gummy bear there, he's like leaning into the bundle of wood. He's carrying all these things. He's carrying all these wands. He has so much going on and he's like crying into it. So this is a card of being overwhelmed. So my advice, Leo, is going to be make sure that you're taking a step back, making sure you're feeling fulfilled, and make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself, especially going into the end of the year. Don't be juggling too many things. Don't be overdoing it. Make sure you're forgiving yourself and those around you. We have a cup on top of a cup. So the next card we have is the Eight of Cups. This is like kind of withdrawing, it's retreating, and it's kind of moving on to something new. So you see that we have cups here, and then the bear is walking away from the cups that are there. The nice thing about the Eight of Cups is like you're moving on to a better place. You're moving on to something new. You're moving forward in a forward direction. That's on top of our Two of Cups. So for some of you, you might be moving on from a relationship, moving on to a new healthy relationship. Maybe you're finally forgiving something and it's giving you the ability to move on. You get to like move forward, which is a really good feeling. Then we have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a self-imposed card. You could be isolating yourself, you could be restricting yourself, but something to keep in mind is that it's typically self-imposed. So if you look at our gummy bear, he's all bound up, his eyes are covered, but there's swords stuck into the ground all around the gummy bear, and all they have to do is like wiggle backwards and cut themselves free. So this is about setting yourself free. Again, can't keep going back to forgiveness, maybe forgiving yourself for some things. But make sure you're not limiting yourself. What I'm getting, the message that's coming through is like, it's okay to have boundaries, but it's not okay to have a wall up. So if you build a wall, then nobody is going to get in, nothing's going to get in, nothing's going to get out. Where if we have the wands, things can come in, but it's not like it's within your control. So you are controlling what comes in and out. It's not an open door, but it's not a closed wall either. So make sure you don't restrict yourself either as we move forward with these. Okay, let's take a look at career, money, finance, maybe businesses that you have. This could also be investments, really anything related to money in your life. The first card that we have is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card that sometimes shows obstacles or rivalry. The interesting thing about the Five of Wands, though, if you look, they're fighting with sticks, they're fighting with wands. It's not like they're fighting with swords. So when I see this card, it is something, but it's not always something that's super serious. It's likely something that you can easily overcome. It's not going to be a major obstacle, although something may come up for you. The next card we have is the Wheel of Fortune. This is a great card to have in your money column. This is good fortune. This is a turning point. This is luck. So definitely a money card in the money column. Love to see that when that happens. We're again getting the Eight of Swords, Leo, so I hope that you're hearing that message. We had the Two of Cups twice, we had the Eight of Swords twice, but that Eight of Swords is again that card of isolating yourself, limiting yourself, to make sure you're not limiting your ability to get this money. Let's clarify and see what messages we have here. All right, we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a tired card. With the Nine of Swords, this is like actually having a nightmare. You can see this person is sitting up in bed and not sleeping. This could also be anxiety or kind of grief, depression. So what I'm getting is that like whatever this is, remember I told you this is not going to be a big deal. Please don't lose sleep over it. Something is going to come up. It's not going to be huge though. You need to make sure that you're not sinking too much energy into it. Do not let it keep you awake at night. Don't be anxious over it. Whatever this is, remember it's going to be a hiccup, but it's going to be relatively small. We have the Queen of Swords card. So the Queen of Swords is very self-sufficient and very honest. The nice thing about self-sufficiency, when we think about self-sufficiency in terms of finance, it's a really great place to be. Like you're financially independent, you're strong to be able to do whatever you need to do. For some of you, this might be a shift, like you are now financially independent. This again, turning point, turning in good fortune. So maybe some of you haven't felt that before. It's also very honest, so I think as like deals come through to you or investments come through to you, getting that they're honest, like your coworkers, I think mean well. Then at the bottom here we have the Ten of Cups. You've probably heard me say this before, but the Ten of Cups is my favorite card in the entire deck. We have this beautiful rainbow at the top with all the cups full. We have a happy couple here. We have kids playing here. There's a beautiful house in the background. There's water running. The grass is green. The Ten of Cups is kind of like the everything card. It's family, it's commitment, it's total love and support. So I feel like it's saying like you can have whatever you want. You have the Wheel of Fortune as well. Make sure you're not limiting yourself though. Don't hold yourself back from whatever is going on, but just know that you can have whatever you want in the money vein, but do not limit yourself, Leo. All right, so our next column, let's talk about love, relationships, family. You have lots of repeat cards today, Leo. So first thing, we have the Seven of Swords. this is a card of like betrayal or dishonesty or running away. So some of you unfortunately may find yourself in a situation where you found out that your partner was being dishonest or the person you were interested in was being dishonest. We'll of course clarify this, but this person's like kind of picking up their swords and like, yeah, I'm going to scoot away from whatever is going on. So I do feel like some of you will be going away from a certain person or relationship. It's not a bad thing though. Live, learn, move on, grab your things and go. Not necessarily a bad place to be. This could also be moving on to a new relationship though. You're leaving a relationship and moving into a new one. We have the Nine of Swords again. Again, this is the tired card. So whatever's happening, again, do not let it be keeping you awake. Some of you could be like grieving the ending of this relationship. Some of you, unfortunately, may be grieving the loss of a loved one. But this is kind of coming through as like very sad, heavy emotion. Make sure that you're resting. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And then at the bottom here, we have the Eight of Wands. This is a speed, action, quick change, or news coming in. Some of you might get news related to family or relationship, or this could be just a quick shift. So this might be like an abrupt transition for some of you, a quick change. Let's clarify a little bit more. Another repeat card for you. So the card that came up is the Nine of Wands. We had the Nine of Wands earlier. So this is keeping and maintaining boundaries. This is being persistent. So if you are leaving a relationship, leave with the knowledge of what you want in the future. Know your boundaries. Some of you also might be living outside of your comfort zone. Maybe there's something happening that you're not comfortable with. Make sure you communicate that and let that person know what your boundary or expectation is. Especially important for those of you in a relationship. Make sure your boundaries are being respected. We have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is very intentional. This is very strategic. So what I'm getting is like some of you might be awake at night planning how you want to handle a situation, or you might be thinking through scenarios. Do not, Leo, like live in that world of what if this, what if that, what if this. Be okay with whatever happens. Be thoughtful, but don't overthink, especially the point where it's keeping you up at night. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles. This is like leaving a legacy. This is retirement. This is inheritance. Somebody in your family might be retiring. You might be retiring. There could be an inheritance coming in from somebody in your family as well. This is like quick shift though, or news coming in, but it seems like there could be like family financial related news. All right, now let's take a look at a message from our future self. Spirit guides. So I am a child. I am a child is an interesting affirmation. It's about being young at heart. It's about thinking young. As we go through our day-to-day life and live in society, we like kind of lose our inner child, finding that happiness in things, having that imagination. So in a very hypothetical way, be childlike going into December, Leo. Let's pull some cards underneath and clarify and see. Don't lose touch with that inner child, that kind of unlimited thinking, that endless energy. So the first card we have is the Ten of Pentacles. This is again leaving a legacy. You've had so many repeat cards, I can't even believe it. So Ten of Pentacles, leaving a legacy, it's retirement, it's inheritance. For some of you, you're definitely going to get some sort of inheritance. Again, some of you may be retiring. Some of you could also be getting a pretty significant end of year type bonus. Like I'm feeling a large sum of money for many of you through various channels there. The Ace of Wands, this is a new project, this is new inspiration, urge to create. This is really a card of newness. So when you're thinking about this new whatever, make sure you're thinking like a child, that you're not limiting yourself to what society says can and can't happen. Because like I'm getting that the possibilities are endless, and you now may have the financial resources, remember a resourceful card earlier, that you need. Then we also have the Empress card. This is also a card of creation. For some of you hoping to get pregnant, this is a great pregnancy card. This is also abundance, so making sense coming off of this like inheritance money type card. Abundance and ability to create. So definitely new creation energy. Something is setting you free here. Let's pull some clarifying cards. Another repeat card. So first things first, we have the Page of Cups. This is very studious. This is hardworking. For sometimes this is like a volunteer card. So some of you may find yourself volunteering going into December. But this is like something you've like worked hard for almost. So if again this is retirement for some of you, that totally makes sense. We work very hard to retire. But on top of that, Ten of Pentacles, this also, like, you're working hard to leave a legacy. So make sure you're continuing that strategic, forward thinking, very future focused. We have our Four of Cups. Again, this is coming through as that surprise gift, which makes sense on top of our new card. There's going to be some sort of shift coming in, something unexpected that's going to be new. It's going to be creative. It's going to be really awesome. And we have the Hermit cards. We have the Hermit on top of the Empress. The Hermit card is like about going within for clarity. You're on a personal quest. You're looking for like a spiritual transformation. Again, this is like feeling very long term. So make sure you're thinking long term as things come up in December. And that's on top of the Empress card, which is about creation. So make sure whatever you're creating is long term. That abundance we want to last long term. So at this point in time, I'm going to give you three yes or no three yes or no answers based on the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have three questions in mind, you can stop the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the 10 of Spades. This is the number 30 card. I would say that that's a no. For question number 2, we have the 5 of Clubs. This is the number 33 card. This is going to be a yes. Then we have the 4 of Diamonds. This is the number 27 card. This is going to be a... I'm getting that that's coming through as a no. So we have no, yes, no, Leo. Then we are going to pull a card from the Healing Stones deck of cards. This is a crystal that you can carry with you throughout the month of December. Put it on your nightstand, put it on your desk at work, keep it in your pocket. You're getting heliotrope. This is differentiation, this is protection. This fends off spiritual and emotional assaults, and conveniently enough, we talked about this several times, this helps setting clear boundaries. And last but not least, let's pull a healing note from the Healing Note deck of cards, because we could always use more healing. The message for you is live your life from your heart, share from your heart, and your story will touch and heal people's souls. Thank you so much, Leo, for tuning in, watching. Please do like, comment, share, subscribe. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll be notified when I post videos in the future. But I would love to know if this video resonates with you. Also, if you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you would like to make a donation. But thank you again, Leo, and finish this year strong.